Today we're going to do something a little different. Today we're going to look behind the curtains and take a deep dive at the community and the team that is behind Shiba Inu. There are some hidden secrets as well as some juicy bits that we found as we were digging through archives and interviews and resources about Shiba Inu. Stick around till the end because I assure you it is going to be very interesting. We'll be giving away $100 to a random subscriber to kickstart their crypto journey. To enter this giveaway, simply like and subscribe and comment your favorite crypto in the comments below. Also, a bit of an announcement, the winner of our previous month's giveaway can be found in the description. Please get in touch with us in the next 30 days to receive your $100 prize. Before we begin, I just want to share with you guys their story. So there were these two brothers, Tommy and James. They were having a beer with a friend who was interested in cryptocurrency. And this friend was trying to convince the brothers to buy into some cryptocurrency, and he was very persistent about it. And at the end, the brothers conceded and put in $200 into this cryptocurrency. And the brothers thought, well, if it went to zero, that's okay, it's only a few $100. It's a bit like a lottery ticket that doesn't really expire, right? And you know, these guys were average folks from New York. I mean, they live within their means. They don't really have any lottery ticket money they would spend, but you know, at the advice of a friend, they did buy some crypto. And less than 2 months after the initial investment in late February, their lives changed. It was their dad's birthday, and instead of giving him a card, they made him a millionaire. Valuations in cryptocurrency have exploded in 2021. While the names Tommy and James are not real, the story actually is. So brothers wake up millionaires after 257 investment in joke crypto coin. I mean, these guys were average folks. Prior to the pandemic, the brothers' primary income came from filming weddings. COVID-19 outbreak nearly shuttered their business. Rather than booking 30 to 40 weddings a year, they did no more than 8. The government stimulus checks weren't enough to sustain us. I'm a positive person, but it was really tough, and not knowing the future was kind of scary. I mean, why wouldn't it be? So the story of Tommy and James is actually not unique. This experience has been shared by hundreds of members of the Shiba community. It's stories like this that make Shiba such a fascinating phenomenon. Its growth and its adoption over the course of its short lifespan has been nothing short of absolutely mind-blowing. But the story of how Shiba came to be is just as interesting. So how exactly has Shiba come so far? Let's dive into this topic by exploring what we know about the team behind this project. And it's quite a mysterious one at that too. Until recently, very little has actually been known about the Shiba Inu team and how things operate behind the scenes. So this week we have received an announcement from Kat, the head of staff and community manager for Shiba Inu, about a piece of content produced by the SHIB Army community member, Jay Derethal. So Jay has been interviewing some of the leaders of the ShibaToken team and has collated his interviews into a well-written article which sheds some light on the team behind Shiba Inu, as well as his experience with SHIB, which is very similar to that of my own. Anyway, without further ado, let's dive in. So the title of this piece is called I Am SHIBA, My Journey Through the Deepest Recess and High Command of a 10 Billion Decentralized Army. I'm not going to cover everything in this article because it's pretty lengthy, but I will cover the more important bits in my opinion in the article. I will however drop a link to the article in the description. So the first thing I want to talk about is if we scroll down a little bit, we'll see a part that says anonymous. I looked for founder and dev team bios and found none on the website. Everyone on the core team communicated via avatars like players in a video game. There was no personal information about anyone working on the project anywhere on the internet. Everyone was anonymous. So straight from the get-go, the entire team being anonymous is quite mysterious on its own. Well, what does this mean? Well, it means you can't really back check anybody on the team. There's no credibility checks in place. How do we know that the people behind Shiba Inu is legitimate? How do we know the people in the team are professionals in the field? Well, the short answer is you can't, which is a big question mark on its own. But you can also put it differently. There are hundreds, if not thousands of people who are credible, who are also professionals in the field, yet there is hardly any recognition of them. It is impossible to do proper due diligence when the founding team is anonymous. This could be viewed in a very negative light by some potential investors and speculators. Why would you want to put your money in the hands of someone who you don't know? But there has also been stories of hedge fund managers running away with other people's money. That's not new in its own either. Now, if we look at a prime example, Bitcoin. The founder of Bitcoin is actually also anonymous too, Satoshi Nakamoto. Consider the wild success that Bitcoin has realized over the years. I don't think having an anonymous team is actually necessarily a bad thing. What about you guys? What do you think? Do you think having an anonymous team would be beneficial for Shiba Inu, or would you rather have a public figure for the coin? Now let's look at some important key members of the Shiba Inu team. Ryoshi. So Ryoshi is the Shiba Inu founder. Ryoshi is an independent cryptocurrency trader who did exceptionally well with Chainlink. Ryoshi's past is otherwise shrouded in mystery. So according to this, Ryoshi has spent zero personal money in Shiba. There are no team or admin dev tokens or funds to pay for anyone for anything. We've never paid for an influencer or an exchange listing. I bought my tokens on a free market like anyone else. Now here's my perspective as someone who's worked in corporate before. So Ryoshi has spent zero personal money in Shiba and has clearly invested a lot of his time and energy into the community. I don't know if I have the unpopular opinion on this, but I feel like if you're working on a particular coin, you're also entitled to some monetary returns as a way of compensation. Because money is also a form of motivation. If you get paid, you're more incentivized to work on this project more than just passion, because passion is fleeting, passion runs out. But in either case, I'm sure Ryoshi will be happy with his position today, given how much Shiba Inu coin has risen in the last couple months. And in this section, Ryoshi talks about how the idea of Shiba Inu was conceived. So Ryoshi met this guy at a bar and of course started to talk about big world problems over a couple cold drinks. And they were basically discussing about the core tenets of decentralization in the community and what this actually means when we strip down all the manufactured narrative. Mainly because we talk about all these decentralized KEK coins like XRP and 88, which actually have no real community but just employ the paid marketing engine to emulate community. And I'm going to assume a light bulb went off. They talked about how they might be able to design an experiment in which decentralized spontaneous community building could take place, and could a token economy grow from a small amount of liquidity staked on a decentralized cryptocurrency exchange. There were quite a few big words used in the last couple of sentences. I'll just sort of boil it down into very simple terms. So a few of the cryptocurrencies are as big as they are today because of external marketing. So they pay influencers, they pay marketers to give the cryptocurrency exposure. And as a result, people who have seen these influencers buy into this market, buy into this cryptocurrency. So what they have built is essentially a fake community. Whereas what if the opposite can be achieved? And Ryoshi thought about something else and visualized that what if you can grow a cryptocurrency, you can grow a community pure and organically. And that's how the Shiba Inu idea was conceived. So how and why Shiba Inu? Well, they chose the Shiba Inu dog for token mascot and named it Dogecoin Killer because Shiba Inu is the Japanese canine breed first used by Dogecoin for its mascot. And brand controversy might draw added attention and even a few supporters earlier on. And well, long story short, they were right. And initially they minted 1 quadrillion Shiba Inu tokens. And this is very interesting. And they subsequently sent half of the total Shiba Inu circulation supply to the co-founder of Ethereum, Vitalik Buterin. This is actually very interesting and on many different levels. So imagine this, you just created a coin and immediately you gave half of it away. What would your investors, what would your co-founders say? Now this was very interesting, and I quote here, "This was not a clean burn, as a burn is a burn, but rather it was a way of indicating that Wolfmeister, whether he knew or liked it or not, did in fact have control of a significant consensus in the Shiba meta. As long as he didn't rug us, Shiba will grow and survive." So what Ryoshi meant here is that if Buterin didn't sell half of the coins, then Shiba Inu will be okay. Shiba Inu will survive and grow. I doubt anybody would have expected this, but Buterin actually handballed the power away. Buterin burned 6 billion SHIB tokens since he doesn't want the power. Dubbed as one of the most generous acts of altruism, Ethereum co-founder Buterin has burned 90% of his Shiba Inu coin holdings, an amount worth 6.7 billion. And he later on went to say the remaining 10% will be sent to a charity with similar values of crypto relief. Now this had a very good consequence for Shiba Inu coin. So Vitalik just burned 45% of Shiba Inu tokens, essentially removing that from the circulating supply. So now we know how supply and demand works. By removing approximately half or 45% of the Shiba Inu coins, the price of each Shiba Inu coin has just doubled. Now I expect this was beyond anybody's expectations, but what Buterin has just done was first of all give Shiba Inu a huge exposure in publicity for what he's just done, and also by removing half the supply for Shiba Inu, it's essentially double the price of whatever is currently left. So basically one move right after the other, Shiba Inu has made perfect plays in the cryptosphere. Now since the inception, the team has expanded. Let's meet the next member. He's known as Satoshi, the manager of everything. Satoshi Kusama is Shiba's pseudonymous manager of everything. He makes frequent appearances on Discord and stays for an hour or so. The first order of business is Shiba's swap updates and Q&A, followed by open-minded and often humorous banter about everything from astrology to philosophy to food to UFOs to music. So what do we know about Satoshi? Well, he or she lives in California, holds a university degree in business technology, specializes in social media marketing and community management, works at more than one Fortune 500 companies, speaks and codes in multiple languages. So from looking at this is clearly a very bright individual with proven qualifications. Fortune 500 companies are no joke. They have rigorous screening processes. They take their recruits very seriously, and they're not easy to get hired at. They require proven talent. So looking at this transcript, it looks like Satoshi is involved in a number of things. So I have the Doggy DAO, the NFT platform, the Girl List, we have the Amazon Smile initiatives, and so on and so forth. It seems like Satoshi was brought in to make the Shiba swap, or help with the Shiba swap, and he says that I'll help finish Ryoshi's vision and implement my own. After that, there will be no need for me. Our founding principles and structure will be fully realized. So I'm not going too much depth into what Satoshi is going to be working on because I don't even fully understand the full breadth of the current projects that are taking place. But looking at this person's impressive resume as well as the project that they're currently working on, it's undeniable that Satoshi has put in tremendous amount of effort into the Shiba Inu community. He's been instrumental for the growth of both the Shiba Inu community and the project as a whole. He's been very vocal on social media platforms such as Discord and Twitter and has a huge level of influence within the community. Now we have the next member of the Shiba Inu team, the project owner, LC, also known as the Chief. LC works in the background as Shiba's business lead. He resides in the UK where he recently graduated with a university degree in cybersecurity. So it is most probable that LC is a very young person in his early 20s. And what he has done for the project, I joined the project a few days after Ryoshi made the first Medium post. I was part of the original group with Ryoshi and Paradox. I joined the Telegram group with Ryoshi and Paradox the day you launched. Paradox and I were the first people in Discord we used it to collaborate on logo redesign and revamping the original website. And LC bought 5 trillion Shiba Inu tokens and was the 4th largest holder for quite a while. And he sold his entire holdings before the surge in price in early 2021. And I guess this is part of the segment where it's a bit of a feels bad moment. Everyone on the project sold their bag before the pump in February. So as a crypto trader, when you see that people on the team have sold their share of their tokens, it's a very, very bearish sign. And to the Shiba Inu team, if you're looking at this, please don't sell it again. Diamond hands to the moon and let's go. And a bit down the track, we have a certain someone in a certain event that really kicked off Shiba Inu again as a whole. I came back into the project when, to everyone's surprise, things started heating up again. It started small and then grew massively when Elon Musk tweeted Dogecoin. People rejoined the Telegram group and Discord server. Newcomers arrived in droves. So we can say Papa Elon here saving the day again. And now we have Kat, the lead moderator and head of staff on Discord, community manager for all things Shiba. So a little bit about Kat. Kat is a 25-year-old and resides in a city in England. I mod up to 14 hours a day depending on what's going on in my day. I'm hoping to have more than 3 screens going in soon. I do a lot of multitasking. This section is probably one of the more insightful sections for me. I'm just going to read this part here. I don't like having money. I sold half of my sheep and half of my leash for £10,000 when the price peaked. I bought a TV and clothes and gave half the money to a friend in need. Immigration issues. Everyone talks about having a Lamborghini when they get rich. Me personally, I'd rather just have a mountain bike. This is particularly interesting to me because Kat is, I guess, the moderator of the Discord. And the behavior of this person and the acts this person has exhibited is sort of more or less in line with the morals and spirit of the overall Shiba Inu community. And this is important because to grow a community, the people who manages and moderate the community are part of the community themselves. They need to be in line with the community. They need to be part of the pack. They need to think the same way. And to see this act and to sort of have this shared on the internet, on this article, and coming straight from the words of the man himself is really, really reassuring. And this makes a segue to the final community member, or rather community members, the SHIB army. There isn't a particular section about the SHIB army, but rather it's scattered throughout the article itself. One of the strongest crypto communities with hundreds of thousands of members is the SHIB army. There are tens of thousands active on Discord and Reddit daily, and basically the community drives this project. And we have a tweet from Satoshi here. So let me make this perfectly clear. The community drives SHIB, not me. You want to make something SHIB? Do it. And it seems to be true. The team sold their tokens, and if it wasn't for the community coming in and picking it back up, it wouldn't be where it is today. So here are my personal thoughts. Also to the SHIB team, if you're watching this, feel free to reach out to us to correct any information that we may have gathered wrong, and we'll happily correct it. So it seems like the Shiba Inu token was conceived on an idea, on an experiment. The idea that a crypto community could be built spontaneously, organically, and pure. And on that front, looking at where Shiba Inu is now, I will have to say that it's a successful experiment. Either Ryoshi is a mad genius and an absolute mastermind, or the timing of things has literally been perfect. Or perhaps it's a combination of the two. Now that Shiba Inu is where it is today, a lot of thought needs to be put in the direction of where Shiba Inu is going to go. And looking at the roadmap and looking at how things are going and where the things are headed, I believe we're off to a good start. I'm excited to see what Shiba Inu has in store for us for the next couple of months because there's a lot planned, there's a lot going on, and I'm excited to see what gets unveiled. If you'd like to check out the full-length article by Jay Derethal as referenced throughout this video, I've left a link in the description. Anyway, that's all from me. Take care, guys. We hope you enjoyed this video as much as we enjoyed making it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.